How are you guys today? I hope you're well. Hello and welcome everybody. Welcome back to H Unleashed. I'm your host Helena and here we are with another episode. I think I gave you a little teaser what we're going to be talking about in this one, but again, I'll be looking at my laptop a bit. Forgive me. My notes again. Don't want to miss anything that I want to make sure to cover. So, today's episode is meeting my father at 6 years old. Pretty crazy. So I'm going to be covering like what my first memory of meeting him was. The thing I was told that would then be playing on my mind for the next over 15 years of my life, which, it was hard to process or try to process or make sense of, but we'll get to that. And again, the repercussions and outcomes. So let's get into it, guys. Okay, so my first memory, oh God. So like I said, I was 6 years old. Pretty much long story short, my parents broke up when I was 3 years old. I was too young to remember him. Didn't see him, meet him till I was 6, and the situation was a bit odd, if I'm going to be real fucking straight up with you. So we went to Brisbane Hospital, which was where my dad was, and yeah, I mean, what more can you say about it? He was in hospital, I swear to God, every time I'm recording, I'm getting notifications, I'm sorry, forgive me. Yeah, he was in hospital, and my birth giver thought it was a perfect time to take my sister and I to go see him, which would be my first experience meeting him at an age that I can remember. So let's get into it. Yeah, so we got to Brisbane Hospital, and then my dad was in the hospital in the full shebang outfit and all. Had the metal hook with the bags and the drip and everything in his arms, and he was all hooked up. No idea why he was there. My sister, I'm pretty sure, was just distracted and colouring in and like just not really caring, because I guess she still remembered him, so it wasn't like a big deal. For me, otherwise, it was like, oh my God, who is this guy? What's he like? Like all those questions that you have as a kid, not knowing your father. I was very confused why he was in hospital. I was like, is he dying? Why are we only just meeting him now? Or why am like, because I obviously didn't put together that they knew him beforehand. Like, I was a child. I was a processing shit. Processing. I don't even know what that was, but please forgive me. Yeah, so pretty much we're at Brisbane Hospital hanging out for a bit, and at the time the Brisbane Echo was on, and if you're from this area, you know what that is. It's like this festival, not festival, it's like it's like an echo. It's the echo, it's like an echo. Great explanation. No, it's like rides and just games and lollies and just good old fun for kids, I guess. Like a show, is that what it's called? I don't know. Yeah, so they took me and my sister there with my birth giver and my father, and I still remember he still in the whole shebang outfit and brought the metal pole with him with the drips and stuff, and he was still hooked up, and I was just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, how are you allowed to leave the hospital looking like this or hooked up like this? But apparently it was allowed, so I was like, whatever, like, okay. Mind you, this is 20 years ago, because I'm 26 this year, so 20 years ago this is happening, mind you. Probably a different time back then. Yeah, so we get to the Eckhart, and already my first impressions of meeting my dad are a bit like, ugh, like, I don't know how I feel about this situation. We get to paying for the tickets, and my dad is sorting everything out, and I think it was like 5 years and younger you could get in for free. I was 6, like I said, so my dad said when it came to me, he was like, she's 5. I Feisty little me got a bit upset at that because I was like, hang on, buddy. Number one, you're meant to be my father. You should know my age. And two, you're my father. You should know my age. So, yeah, I corrected him and, he quickly shushed me and told me, he was lying to get me in for free. And again, this is now my second impression of him. So he really wasn't doing great. Oh, it was bad. So we go to Eka. I don't even remember. I think we might have gone on a couple of rides, but it wasn't, can't be anything that amazing because I don't remember any of it. We go back to, this is all that's indented into my head. It's all this, not the rides. But anyway, we go back to the hospital and my birth giver and I and sister, we all leave. And I don't know what this has to do with the story. It probably has nothing to do with it. Or maybe it's just to show you the kind of headspace I was in at that time. But those like metal things that are, those metal, what are they? I don't know what they're called. Like, I'm not very good at explaining it and you're going to learn this. The metal things in the ground that, like, I'm pretty sure workers go in under and do work. I don't know what they're for, but yeah, I remember like walking over that and I had this fear of falling through and feeling like the world was just going to suck me from underneath. And I think that just shows you the kind of headspace I was in, especially after that whole experience overnight. I just was not in a good place and I was very confused about the whole situation. And still to this day, I still have a fear of walking over those things since that day. I don't know, it's weird. Anyway, I ended up asking my birth giver, like, why my father was in hospital. And she had said that... I don't know why I'm laughing. This isn't a laughing matter. Yeah, trigger warning. I'm just about to talk about a touchy subject, aka suicide. So if you don't want to listen to that, please skip this next 5 minutes or so. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay. No, she had told me as a young child that my dad had tried to commit suicide, and to hear that, it was a lot, and especially not understanding the severity of the situation and being told that at such a young age, like, even if it was or wasn't true, regardless, I should not have been told that as a child. Like, that's putting a lot of pressure and knowledge and information onto a kid that can barely process their emotions. Like, what do you think is gonna happen, dude? Like, it's not cool. I really, really, like, it is an ultimate pet hate of mine, adults or parents or just anyone that gets their children involved in situations or topics or arguments, just anything that they should not be involved in, or as an adult situation. I can't stress that enough. Don't do it. Yeah, so for the next 15 years or so of my life, I'd be questioning and wondering, why did my dad try to commit suicide? Was it to do with me? Was it to do with the family? Was it to do with, like, what happened? Like, what happened for him to go to that level? So at 20-something years old, I ended up living with my dad for a brief period of time, and we became quite close. I'm not saying we still are, but we did at the time. And yeah, I built up the courage to ask him for the truth, because I guess it was still to this day and age, like, it was still like I never had the answer or understanding of why. So I asked him, and he just looked very confused and not cool with what I just said. And he didn't really look like he wanted to tell me what had happened, but at the same time, he didn't like the very incorrect information that I had been told. So he decided to open up to me, and this is where we're at. So my dad was a drug user. He had 2 friends, and they were on a high together. I think they had run out of stuff, and they wanted to go get more stuff. So my dad and his 2 friends went to this house to get more stuff. My dad was very high off his chops, and his 2 friends were inside the house, and my father decided to lay down on the ground looking at the sky because, damn, it must have been a good starry night. It's the only thing I can justify it for. But anyway, he lay down and got in a gutter, not realizing that his, like, I guess this part, sorry, shoulders, neck upwards, his head was in front of a driveway. Someone was backing out of their place and ran over my dad's neck. Pretty hectic shit. His friends ended up finding him, and I'm pretty sure they were the ones that took him. So I'm not sure if the person that ran over him was like another drug fucked person, because I can't justify why you would drive off or not help the person that you just ran over, or if you didn't realize. I don't know, dude. I haven't been in that situation. But anyway, his friends found him, took him to hospital, and then that was when, I'm sorry if you can hear a lot of birds, I just realized they're fucking loud and I don't have a soundproof room, so forgive me. Yeah. So, yeah, the story I was told was very different to what I was told by my birth giver. My sister actually and I was speaking about this not long ago, and I'm pretty sure she was told a different story as well. So, I don't know, dude. And when I mean different story, I mean by my birth giver. Sorry, I'm just going to take a quick little squidge at my notes. So, when I learnt that it was that drug and fueled thing, and that was the reasoning why I pretty much met my father for the first time, it kind of like made me also then question, like, so you pick drugs over me, blah, blah, like, why'd you bring a child into this world if you can't even look after them? That's just my opinion. Yeah, it's just a messy situation. We don't, like, at the moment, we don't have the super close relationship, but as you may tell or see as I speak about these situations with my parents, is that I will at least call my dad, father, dad, or whatever you want to call it, whereas the other person I call my birth giver. And there's a very strong reason for that. At the end of the day, regardless of the situation, my dad will always be there for me. He will drop anything majority of the time. Don't know if I can still say that nowadays, but still majority of the time I'll say at least, and be there for me. And he's helped me through a lot of messy situations when realistically I don't feel like he really needed to, considering our relationship, it wasn't that close. Yeah, we don't have that loving parent-daughter relationship where you like talk often and catch up often. Like, we probably talk to each other over phone like once every few months. Like, it's very, very, very minimal. He often just moves on with his life, I guess. So yeah, just kind of accept that that's him. He's more like a mate that you can always call upon, but not so much a father figure. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that as well. Like, I know I'm not the only person that has that, and I'm sure a lot of people as well have been through a lot of similar, if not different situations that have also resulted in the same situation as me. So I feel you. I feel your pain. It's very unfortunate, you know, like, I think he himself has a lot of growing to do, and I think he's just very old school and stuck in his ways, and I think for that reason is probably why we're not very close. Yeah, that's that. Oh my god, I'm just dying. I'm sorry, guys. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my story of meeting my father for the first time, and just how long it affected me for, guys. Like, it again, I think a lot of people are in this situation, and I think the older I get, the much more I realize how much I appreciate the peace and serenity and just my safe space. And I think that's why I'm so introverted. Like, I just think I just really appreciate what I do have and things around me. And I really do enjoy my own personal company. I know a lot of people don't, but I actually really do, and I have a lot of hobbies and things I like to do, so it's really therapeutic. And let's just add this one to the list, shall we? Oh, but yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's a much shorter episode. Yeah, again, I think we'll get into other story times because there's still things to do with my father as well. Yeah. So my next upcoming episode is going to be about finding my sexuality, understanding myself, my growth journey since that, and growing up in the Christian church and how fucking confusing it was to really understand who you are as a person in that situation. It's not easy, it's not simple. Oh, dude, it was a long ass journey. But again, that's probably going to be another short episode. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Until then, stay safe, keep well. I hope you have a great weekend, day, night, whatever the situation is for you at the moment. And yeah. Okay, bye guys. Bye.